Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy, The Problem Child, with part 3 of why WWE sucks. Now, this topic is really going to be about the tag teams and how WWE sucks when it comes to tag teams. In that company, tag team division is dead. It is done. Put a fork in it. It's cooked. You know, we all swallowing it and we run into the toilet shitting it out. That's what basically that means in that company. You know, you got the Hart Dynasty, you unveiled new belts. Okay, so you just proved to everybody that you put the belts together, fair enough. But you took the titles away from Raw and SmackDown and made it competitive where you was gonna build up tag teams in both of those things. Now you're gonna combine them in one. So that means they can go on Raw and SmackDown. Okay, good idea there. But guess what? Who do you have? Who? You got Vance Archer and Kurt Hawkins. They're done. You got the Dude Busters, Jay and Jimmy Uso. What are you trying to prove by knocking those guys down? What are you trying to do by beating those guys down? What are you proving? You just basically took them and just basically pound their heads in, and then you said, you know what? We don't like this division. We believe blah blah blah. Well, guess what? You're wrong. You're wrong. Look at TNA. Look at how it worked for them between Beer Money and the Motor City Machine Guns. Great matches. Great best out of five. One. You know what? I forgot that tag team. Those type of tag teams actually exist. Earlier in the year, you give it to DX. Wow, how lame was that? DX with the title. Really? Who the fuck wants to see those guys with tag team gold? Then you got Miz and Morrison. Here you go. You brought Nitro back. You brought Mercury back. Here you go. Put Mercury and Morrison back together. If you want, put Melina back with them. And then that way you got a great tag team again. Those guys was great together. I mean, the moves they were doing, the athleticism, everything in those matches was great. You had Deuce and Domino. There was but it was still, at least you showed us that you cared about the tag team, the vision. Now they're nothing but jokes. You got SummerSlam. Why are they not on the line at SummerSlam? Why is it? Why? Because you know why? You don't have anybody to go up against them. Yeah, Jim and Jay Uso, they couldn't win a fucking match against the Hart Dynasty. You got the Dude Busters, they haven't even had a shot. You got Kurt Hawkins, Vance Archer, they haven't had a shot. You got, here you go. You can put, instead of NXT, instead of putting that Nexus junk together, you could have had two guys in Nexus that was a tag team. And that way they could have went for the title. So that way Nexus had their first goal. But no, it's too advanced to think that far. Nexus got tag teams, so they got two of the best in the damn thing that they can knock out anybody in tag teams division. That way you can put two tag teams together and go. No, but that's too tough. That is too hard to think about. No, you just can't do that. But it's so funny, ladies and gentlemen, how it just become a mockery and a joke to people about what it is. Well, there's this little guy I know, and he watches wrestling, and he's wondering what happened to the tag team. And he's like, all he sees is John Cena tagging up with some guy, and then this guy turns his back on him, and that's it. Not all tag teams turn their back on each other. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't always have to end like that. And that's when they're going to end, they're going to verse each other and blah, blah, blah. And one's going to be the top and one's going to, now the Miz and Morrison, they don't know who's the Jannetty is. And, DX is, of course, there's this man. Then you got, you have Mark Henry, MVP. I could have seen great potential in that tag team as those people being a tag team. I seen very strong, very, 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 very strong tag team force there. And what do? Break them apart. Make them lose every match. Make them be something that they're not. Why? Because they don't give a fuck about tag teams. You know what? You say you don't give a fuck about tag teams, right? But so why still have the belts? Why still have these belts and make these ugly, horrendous looking belts that you made, and then try to convince the world that, oh, we still believe in tag teams. They still are the dominant tag team. You know what? I think if the Motor City Machine Guns versus the Hart Dynasty in the match, I think the Hart Dynasty could not keep up with those guys. And I know that's a strong statement to say, but I really do believe that the Hart Dynasty wouldn't be able to compete with those guys. They wouldn't last 2 minutes in that fucking ring because WWE only give them 5 minutes to wrestle. So I really do honestly believe that tag teams are dead in WWE in one company. I can't say all companies. In one company, it's a joke. It's just a mockery. They're basically jobbers. They just job together, or they fillers, and they just fill in the blanks together because the writers ran out of ideas or the bookers ran out of ideas because they don't know how to fucking book a match. They couldn't even write a fucking paragraph about wrestling, Don't know a fucking thing about wrestling, but they think they do because they've seen it, they've been around it a little bit. They sometimes in their lives, or they've seen it on TV once, and then all of a sudden they say, I could do that. No originality. No, WWE has no originality no more. It's a joke. They're trying this PG thing because it's all about the money, and then at the same time, it turns out that their quarterly thing wasn't doing so good, in the making money wise. So, Vince decides, hey, I think it's going to be NXT that's going to be the future. And I will be getting on the NXT thing soon. But, it just proves, why do we watch WWE? So far in the third video, this is the third one. So I'm trying to figure out, in my heart of hearts, why is it that we're holding on to this company that doesn't give a damn about wrestling? All they want to do is just be a bunch of movie producers and win Emmys and Oscars, Why do we watch it? Why do we waste 2 hours of our lives on Monday and then an hour of our life Tuesday and then maybe an hour of our lives when Superstar come on and then 2 hours of our lives when SmackDown come on? Why do we waste our time? Especially guys that grew up off of the Road Warriors, the Road Dogg and Mr. Ass, Billy Gunn. And we grew up with the Hollies. We grew up with the Godwins. We grew up with the Outsiders. I have to say WCW. We grew up with the Outsiders. We grew up with tag teams that we loved it. And people go around as kids saying, yeah, I'm Mr. Ash, you be Billy Gunn, you be the Road Dogg or something like that, And we grew up on that. And then all of a sudden, it just means, you grew up on the Wild Samoans and stuff like that. And then it just turns out you look at it now and it's just a 2-minute match with a bunch of guys that just happen to be teamed up with each other and have no chemistry whatsoever in the ring. And WWE just didn't know what to do with them and said, here you go, we put you together. You go out there, you wrestle for 2 minutes, and that's it. And then you might say, like, this on the mic, read this and memorize it and just say that on the mic. That's basically what tag team is right now in WWE. And that's why WWE sucks when it comes to tag team. So this is part 3, and part 4 will be coming up very soon. Peace, one love. I'm out.